Peter feels he is very generous when he said, "Is that okay that I forgive my brother or sister 7 times a day?" But Jesus surprises him with the number, not 7 times, but 70 times 7. Dearly beloved in Jesus Christ, welcome to today's Gospel Reflection with Father Anand. Today, 13th August 2026. Thursday in the 19th week of the Ordinary Time. The Gospel is taken from Gospel of Matthew, chapter 18, verses 21 to chapter 19, verses 1. At that time, Peter came up and said to Jesus, "Lord, how often will my brother sin against me and I forgive him? As many as 7 times?" Jesus said to him, "Do not say to you 7 times, but 70 times 7. Therefore, the kingdom of heaven may be compared to a king who wished to settle accounts with his servants. When he began to settle, one was brought to him who owed him 10,000 talents. And since he could not pay, his master ordered him to be sold with his wife and children and all that he had, and the payment be made. So the servant fell on his knees, imploring him, 'Have patience with me, I will pay you everything.' And out of pity for him, the master of that servant released him and forgave him the debt. But when the same servant went out, he found one of his fellow servants who owed him 100 denarii. And seizing him, he began to choke him, saying, 'Pay what you owe.' So his fellow servant fell down and pleaded with him, 'Have patience with me, and I will pay you.' He refused and went and put him in prison until he should pay the debt. When his fellow servants saw what had taken place, they were greatly distressed, and they went and reported to their master all that had taken place. Then his master summoned him and said to him, 'You wicked servant, I forgave you all the debt because you pleaded with me. And should not you have had mercy on your fellow servant as I had on you?' And in anger, his master delivered him to the jailers until he should pay all his debt. So also my heavenly Father will do to every one of you if you do not forgive your brother from your heart." Now when Jesus had finished these sayings, he went away from Galilee and entered the region of Judea and Jordan. The Gospel of the Lord. Dearly beloved in Jesus Christ, Peter feels he was very generous when he said the number 7 times a day. It's obviously a proud number to be a Jew. According to the Jewish tradition, a Jew is allowed, or it is okay for a Jew to forgive only 3 times a day if his or her brother does wrong against him in the same manner. So you forgive your brother 3 times. That suffices. You fulfill the law. And on the 4th time, you can punish him, for which you don't get any punishment from God. But Peter comes here and says 7 times. So the number is double than the normal number. So there is a reason for Peter to be proud of saying the number 7. But surprisingly, Jesus gives him a shock by saying the number 70 times 7. 70 times 7 in normal numerology or normal numericals, it is 490 times. Jesus didn't want you to count. That's why the number is so huge. It means that Jesus wants us to give unconditional forgiveness to our brothers. And that's what is called a Christian. Now for the number 7 or 70 into 7, there is a historical background from the Jewish tradition. Well, if you take the book of Genesis chapter 4, we read about 2 personalities who use this number already. The first personality is Cain. We know Cain, the brother of Abel. And when Cain was cursed by the Lord. He was given sevenfold vengeance. The Lord put a mark on the forehead of Cain, and it is told, anyone who kills you, they will have a sevenfold punishment, sevenfold vengeance. So the number already 7 times taking vengeance is already there in the Old Testament. Now again, the number 70 times 7 heard from a person called Lamech. Lamech is one of the descendants of Cain. This person is also presented in the 4th chapter of book of Genesis. But this person is characterized by his extraordinary or more vengeance and anger towards other human beings. In the 4th chapter, he tells his wives, who were Ada and Zillah, I have killed a man for abusing me. I have struck a man for giving me bad words. And then he continues saying, if Cain is given the vengeance of 7 times, me will have 70 times 7 vengeance, which means vengeance to the core. So the Jewish people had this kind of ideology about forgiveness. Peter, who was also a Jewish man, from the background of this understanding, feels he is giving a generous number when he said 7. But the Lord teaches something new, surprising him. He says 70 times 7, which means unconditional, not numbered. So dear brothers and sisters in Jesus Christ, from today's liturgy, though, let's understand, let's go for n number of forgiveness offered to our brothers and sisters, provided every time they come and ask, or every time you feel that they need forgiveness. Sometimes they may not come and ask, but if you feel they need forgiveness, they need a chance, give unconditionally without counting it. Because God does the same thing with us. If God counts our offenses, our own mistakes, is the number 7 enough for us? I really doubt whether it is enough. So if you want to receive forgiveness from God, unconditionally give your forgiveness to your brother or sister unconditionally. Otherwise, the Lord will also act like the master in the parable, who in his anger threw the servant into the jailer till he paid the last penny. So show forgiveness, you will receive forgiveness. May God bless us all. Have a blessed day ahead.